Here we go. There we go. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of The Shift. I guess you could say a pop-up today because we're not doing it during our normal 12 to 1 Eastern time on Mondays. We decided to schedule one on the fly here with the legend himself, Jimmy D. I was going to say Jimmy D from The Uplift, but you're also Jimmy D from like a lot of cool things, and Jimmy D from Japan, Jimmy D from Chicago, Canada. I don't know why I said Chicago. But anyways, happy to have you here. Guys, I want to encourage everyone to check out all of the links in the description too. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. And we are currently live on Twitch simultaneously. That link is in the description as well. And we are going to do plenty of giveaways here today. And I'm feeling, call me what you want. I'm feeling lazy today. I don't feel like doing the Google Forms. We're just going to do all the giveaways through Stream Racer on Twitch. So get ready for that. Jimmy.
Oh, that's cool. I've never actually done the giveaways through Stream Racer. So
cool. It's awesome. And
I've done the StreamYard ones. I don't know if you've done those, but like the StreamYard ones, they're good. They work okay, but then like the problem is like they only show the person's name, not the comment. So you have to like scroll up and find.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know there was a stream that StreamYard had that.
I'll send it to you later. You can test it out. I'm excited to see like what the Twitch one is. So cool. Yeah, okay. It's great to be back. Like it's been too long. Like you and I have a really weird like time difference, I think, and so we always miss each other.
I thought you were gonna say relationship.
We had a really normal relationship till you went on rebranded yourself, and now I'm fucking. I like Adam Carswell. Like that was like like David Letterman worthy as a name for me. And you're like oh no, I don't like Adam Carswell anymore. Like if I was gonna pick any name, like I would pick something as cool as like Adam Carswell, right? Like I'm pretty happy with Jimmy D, but like Adam Carswell is a good name, and then you're like, oh no, maybe General Motors. So like it's funny because on our show, every time we mention your name, like Corey's now he's starting to roll my eyes. He's just like, just give it up. Like the guy rebranded, it's okay. And I'm like, it's not okay. Adam Carswell is a cool name, and it's like, yeah. So anyway. I'm here with my friend Adam. Great.
You could call me. I mean, honestly, anyone who calls me Adam, I would consider pretty much an OG in this space. So it's completely fine. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say like it's super fun. So, and I'm excited as well. I want to shout this out before I forget.
Do it.
Because this is the first. No, sorry. We're going to share another stream next week together as well. I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. That's so you want to do a little bit of shout out to that because it's actually become one of our really fun guests, one of our favorite guests, which was an introduction by you. And we're gonna share a couple streams next week because of that. So it'll be the third time with him, but you're gonna join us too. So I'm super excited about that.
There's a we'll leak this out for you guys. I know there's a way to get the YouTube URL for that stream. Let me get it here. So you guys can reserve your spot. I believe if you just click that set the reminder button here, I'm going to drop this in the comments.
I should find ours too, actually, to be honest, because it's going to be a double header. Actually, you forgot to mention that.
Oh, how so?
Okay. So we're going to do from 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the premiere of Austin Linney's show.
Yes.
And then we're going to close that down at 9. And we're going to jump over to the Uplifters channel and do the second half of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And, I had to eat. I had to eat something to eat for the stream.
that's
by the way.
Cool. No worries.
I think I'm always eating, and then you've always got soju whenever we're streaming. I could be wrong. Is there ever a non-soju Jimmy moment?
Yeah. So yesterday I did the Edge with Sean on the Cryptowriter Twitch. Actually, we only do it on Twitch these days.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I did that, and it was, Sean's funny. My missus laughs about this as well because like Sean's just like, I'm drinking whiskey today because it's been a good week. We had the Crocs, everything's going good. What are you drinking today, Jimmy? And I'm like, today I'm sober because I got a health check tomorrow. He's like, this stream's gonna suck. I'm like, man, like my wife looks at me and she's just like, what is happening? She's like,
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like every time I see you on stream, unless you flip your camera around or something, it looks like it's midday. The way you have your lighting right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Could be.
Like if you told me it's 10 a.m., it looks like you're just getting ready for your day. You got your sweater on. Is it getting cold? Getting cold over there? And wait, which city are you in? I forget.
Yeah, I'm in Osaka actually.
Osaka.
So, So I'll drop this in there for you as well.
Oh yeah,
That's the link for the second half of the show. I don't. Yeah.
are you in this as Are you in this chat right now as a guest?
No, I should probably get in there to be honest.
Well, I'm saying if you're in, I'm sorry, if you're in StreamYard as a host like I am right now, you should be able to put the links directly in the comments.
I'm not. I should have done that.
Gotcha.
I could leave and then come back. I mean, if you want to talk about the nuts that you're eating, if there's something.
I think actually it probably would be best because you've got a lot of valuable links to share today.
Yeah. All right. Well, just entertain yourselves. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. He's gone. I'm actually going to pull up a map of Japan right now. I've been to Japan before, which it's a fantastic country. It seems like it's gone a little bit bonkers and strict lately, like many places around the world, which I'm not a fan of. But Jimmy was still telling me some cool things before he went live today about Japan. So, oh, cool. He's popping back in. He's got the name tag in there too, the Twitter handle now, which is good.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why it's still there actually, but it's annoying. So Twitter is a bit of a pain for me. I never used Twitter or a lot of these social media channels before I got into crypto and got into streaming. I'm not a streamer, right? Like, and so I started using the Jimmy D handle, but then they blocked my account. I don't know, because they thought it was spam. So I opened up another one, and then that was the one that kind of, got to be popular, and now it's like too late to change it. So
what's blowing my mind right now is I had, for whatever reason, and I've been to Japan before too.
Oh, really?
I've had a great time. I had no idea how close. I knew South Korea was close to Japan. I didn't realize it was like right there, which makes
it's pretty close by boat actually.
Which makes so much sense because I haven't been to South Korea, but I've heard culturally like a lot of it is similar to what you'll see in Japan. And now I'm like, okay, that's obvious. I should have known that.
They have different kinds of smelly food than Japan, than Japanese stuff. Like, I'm serious. Like a friend of mine lived there, and like they're big on kimchi, like very garlicky smell, right? Like Japan's smelly food is more like fermented stuff. Like, I guess kimchi is fermented as well, but like things like fermented soybeans, which drives me absolutely insane. Like, I can't handle it. So yeah, that's my city. It's a concrete jungle.
Is that where Kobe steak comes from?
Yeah, well, not from that city, but yeah, from Hyogo, it's famous from there. So you can see Osaka is like, there's not very much green. Actually, I don't know where were you when you came to Japan?
I was in Tokyo, and there's some kind of military base here in Yokohama, and I had some family friends that were there. Okay. Came for 10 days, dude. It was awesome, to be honest. Like, I tell everyone, and again, I was just saying when you hopped off, like, again, I don't know what the vibe is like now in this kind of like, this COVID world with all the rules and regulations. But when I went to Japan, I would tell everyone, like, if there was one place in the world that if someone was like, yo, Adam, you have to lose all your friends, all your family, you have to start from scratch, one random place in the world, where would you go? I was like, Japan, for sure. Like, maybe
I should keep my place and rent it out to you. No, like I love it as a country. I don't know, like, I know you were away for a bit, but it's funny because like I was away for a bit, but I was streaming more, and so we spent the summer. We went to Okinawa, which is actually further from mainland Japan than Korea, coincidentally, and that's a big military presence as well. And we were actually thinking about moving there for a short period of time, come next year. Just because it's a little bit more tropical. But like Japan has some really cool benefits, like, but when they're draconian, they're really draconian. Like, so a really good example is like drugs. Like, they're super draconian. Like, they wouldn't let like John Lennon in because he like got busted with like weed. Like, and like basically like what are the people who probably should have come in because like, he's married to Yoko Ono at the time. They're like, no, you can't come in. Like, you got busted for weed in another country. Like, it was kind of crazy, right? So they're really strict on.
Can you highlight that's Jimmy's biggest hang up with Japan is the weed. He's like, come on, guys, I'm from Canada.
No, but like it's interesting because now they're looking at like, medicinal stuff and they're talking about like, whether this works or not. And so they're like, okay, well, if we're going to do that, then we need to have a council. And what came out of the council was basically they decided, yeah, because we were talking about this. You've had some of these guys on your channel. So what came out
Yeah,
of the council now was they've decided that now they're going to put new rules and regulations around criminalization, which is kind of nuts, right? To me, like
so it's going to get more strict.
It's going to get more strict, and I think what we're going to see is basically like they're going to stonewall everyone except for the big pharma industries, which is crazy because when I first came to Japan, I shit you not, when I first came to Japan like a couple decades ago, in Tokyo, you could find vending machines that were selling magic mushrooms, right? But some famous person's kid jumped off of a building, and then that was the end of it. Then it became dangerous. And so that's a problem with Japan. Now, speaking about the COVID thing, this is where it gets like interesting. I don't know, like I don't want to get into the politics behind it, but right. I thought that it was like quite interesting because we were really careful. Like I've got a 2-year-old. She was 1 at the time. Like she's a COVID baby, which is going to be like crazy. Like right, like Misty Crypto. You've had her on.
You do have to clarify what you mean by COVID baby. It's not like she has COVID.
No. Fair enough, right? Like, but she was born during COVID times, and like I'm a professor. Like that's what I do in the real world. Like I do this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so like I'm a registered teacher in the U.S. even though I'm Canadian. I did my postgraduate degree in the U.S. and then I came back here, and then I started playing around with all the stuff that we're playing around with. Jimmy D, by the way, if you haven't met me, I'm part of the Uplift world. That's one of the few projects.
Are you a professor in the Uplift world?
Yeah, professor in the Uplift world.
Professor Jimmy, I did not know that. That's cool. I just love meeting people that are in this space that went from like a job like that to like, yo, I'm in crypto and blockchain in the Uplift world. Like your life.
I mean, to clarify, if I was in the States or if I was in America, I'd probably be an adjunct professor because I'm not but like in Japan, I'm a professor because I teach writing and stuff. Yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch to be honest. Like I would be an adjunct. I don't have a doctorate. So anyway, COVID times, Japan banned alcohol at restaurants, and they said you're not allowed to serve alcohol and doors need to close by 8 p.m. And if you do that, then we'll give you money. But Japan has it baked into their constitution because of what happened after the Second World War with the Americans. They were worried about imperialism making a comeback because of what happened with Germany, from the First World War to the Second World War. So they basically made them rewrite their constitution that had some kind of bylaw in it that basically prohibits them from creating rules that tell the people what to do. So it's funny because my missus translated as like a strong onagai, and onagai-shimasu is kind of like, please do this favor for me. And so like her translation is like a strong, please do this favor for me. Don't go out, don't travel, don't do these things. And then they were incentivizing it with money. But I walked through, a neighborhood area to go to the park in the center of the city. And I was walking by with my daughter, my missus was working at the time. And all like the restaurants were closed, but this one restaurant on the corner that I love, like I used to go there all the time, it was open and it was packed. It was packed. There were people like all around this little hole in the wall restaurant. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I stop and I look and there's people drinking. You're not supposed to be drinking, right? And I look again and there's a sign in the window that says BYOB. They skirted the whole law by letting people bring in their own beer, pack the restaurant, serve food, and they were able to get money from the government for not serving alcohol. And this is like, so in some ways, Japan is like crazy draconian, but in other ways, it's like so liberal that like there's like, it's got some of the most beneficial tax laws in the world. So like, I would recommend that like, don't break the laws that matter in Japan, but people are always bending the rules. And like crypto wise, like it's pretty liberal. I mean, it's more liberal than New York. We can say that, I guess.
Crypto wise?
Yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of housewives, I think, that are doing it. So it's super fun. Sorry, I get like really excited because like it is almost the next day for me.
I'm missing the joke here. There's a lot of housewives that are doing what?
It wasn't a joke. I'm being serious. Like there's like, so Japan is probably, again, one of the, it might be an Asian thing too, but Japan is another country where women actually don't have equal working rights, but in a way, and I'm kind of making a joke here, like they've got it better because the guys, they work for, anywhere from 60 to 100 hours a week.
Oh yeah, remember we talked about the issue about like somebody got overworked, and so they said, okay, you can only work this much. And then what ended up happening was that everyone said, okay, they can only work that much. Everyone's going to work that much now.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so one of the things that Japan has going for it for the women, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this for sure, because there's shit maternity pay. They for a first world country, women don't get paid the same amount as men, but Japan is still a single salary household country. You can't do that in the US. You can't do that in Canada anymore. It's almost impossible to live on a single salary income, especially in a big city.
It's a single salary place, meaning like it's just the man working, or what do you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Most women are housewives. They stay home. They're forced out of their job because there's shit maternity benefits. They're forced out of their job when they have kids, and this is part of the problem with the declining birth rate. Actually, is that
that's probably intentional too, right? That they don't want to overpopulate their island, or I don't know.
No. It's a serious problem. It's just like because now a lot of women are choosing careers over family, right? And so, right, Yuki in the kitchen, Martin, we love you. I want Martin on the stream.
That's like a fictitious name, right?
Yeah. So actually, there's an inside joke here because yesterday on Sean's stream, we were talking about Karen, and I didn't know what a Karen was. And so Martin, like, he made the joke that, like, in Japan it's called Yuki. It was pretty good, actually.
I have to find it. There was a hilarious, actually, let me see if I can find it here now. There was a Karen moment in Newfoundland, like almost 2 years ago. I think her name was actually Karen. Let's see, Karen.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I don't, but I do remember mini skirts.
This is it. Okay.
I went to USJ the other day, Morton, and it was great. I took my daughter there, and I felt dirty because the women were wearing really short mini skirts. But I was here for it. By the way.
How are you?
All right, so this lady got like pissed off at someone in the parking lot, and I believe this was like, I don't know, this was like right before COVID hit. I feel like maybe like November. I just remember it went viral.
How are you? Not the record. Not the fucking record. Not the fucking record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking him.
I'm not fucking him, Dennis.
Are you fucking her?
Fuck off, will you?
All right. That's all right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm telling your mother too.
Tell my mother what?
You're fucking someone.
You're a fucking asshole. You're fucking from the fucking Ottawa.
I forgot it was that aggressive.
Fuck you.
Come here.
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
So, I mean, back full circle to what we were talking about earlier in the stream, right? There's a love-hate in this situation that I'm in, right? Because Japan is so sheltered. It's kind of crazy, actually, like short skirts. Let's talk about short skirts a minute, because Morton brought it up. And I think this is a really important thing to understand. The difference between Asia, the difference between Asia and North America is short skirts here are fashion. They're not an excuse for rape. And as bad as that sounds, this is what North America has become, right? Like it's like, oh, she deserved it. She was wearing a short skirt. Now, that said, the weird people in Japan are fucking extra weird, right? But they're a very, very small minority. And like it's gotten to the point now where a lot of girls will wear like PE shorts under their skirts because like we do have this little bit of a hentai culture too.
Like private equity.
Yes, private equity. It's private equity. You need a key to get under that skirt. But again, there are some really bizarre things that are happening, right? Like I work with a bunch of people who are on full scholarships. It's a pretty decent, education. It's not a Harvard, but it's pretty good education in the world. And a lot of like international students are fully funded. And women aren't getting scholarships. And so they're, a lot of them are working at these places called girls' bars. And they're making more money than they'll ever make in their lives, and they're like, fuck this, and then they just, you know, kind of divert into that lifestyle as well, which is like, but what's interesting, before we go on to like, you know, real world business shit, by that I mean magical internet money,
kind of far from that right now.
right. But what's really interesting about the single family income is I would say 90% of the families in Japan operate like this. Monday to Friday, father doesn't see, well, it's changing now with young people, but Monday to Friday, father doesn't see children because he's leaving before they get up and he's coming home after they come to bed. On Sunday, the wife needs a break, so he's out in the park, you know, playing with them while the wife is taking a break. But at the end of the month, when he comes home with the salary, she takes it all and she gives him an allowance. And what's funny about this is like there were reports, and it's probably a very small percentage, but there were reports of like, you know, women who were like at home on these iPhone, like, you know, crypto apps that were like making a fortune or losing a fortune, and the husband had no idea. And I think that's like, this is where like we're talking like 2017, 2018 circa, right? Like, but it's really interesting when you look at the dynamics because, you know, as you and I know, crypto is this kind of free zone where anyone can play as long as you figure out how to play.
Yeah,
right?
wow. That's a quote right there. That really is what it is. Okay, I thought you were going to keep going. But
no, sometimes I stop. It's very rare, but sometimes
that was a full stop right there. You got me. Oh, I just saw too. Yeah, Booster Juice is Canadian. I don't know if you can see here. Canadian born, blended worldwide, which I'm going to challenge that statement. I have not seen a Booster Juice anywhere outside of, honestly, like Eastern Canada. You said you hadn't seen it before, so.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. I'm not from Ontario.
I've never heard someone, do people say that? They're from the Midwest in Canada?
No, I was thinking, but I went to school in Thunder Bay, so I always think like Eastern West, right? Thunder Bay is the actual midpoint of Canada for people who don't know, which is crazy because it seems like it's not. But I tried to hitchhike from Thunder Bay to Nova Scotia. Well, I did successfully. I hitchhiked to PEI, but it was.
Oh wow! What? Nice. Yeah. My boy Vic Sutton in the house. What up, Vic? He's actually been on. I forgot he's been on a stream before, like way back when I was first getting started. Morton, I see you're active in the chat too, and I know sometimes on Twitch you've been known to be very generous with giveaways. And I just minted my first ever Dream Chasers NFTs. That's my other podcast. So this is a little bit of a test run. But Morton, if it's cool with you, man, I'm actually gonna send these to you now. And if you just want to periodically drop them throughout the stream or in the future, like randomly in the Shift Discord, Telegram, whatever, do what you want with them, man. But I trust you to distribute them in a fashionable manner, and feel free to keep one too.
I really feel like at some point we need to have a coming out party for Morton, because like he's here all the time and he's in the chats. He's got like, I've seen photos. I've never met him in person. I mean, I've met him like in a live chat. One-on-one, and he's a super awesome guy. But yeah, like he's got the monster beard of all time. And like, yeah, I just think that we need a coming out party for Morton. I think like he would be a rad YouTuber.
He seems like he's got all the mechanics that would make for a good streamer. So gratitude estate sale. I gotta figure out what
so we're here to talk about business, which is fucked up because we haven't talked in so long that and
I'm good to go. Like, I know I got us for an hour. I know I'm good for a little bit over an hour. I don't think I can go 2, but we'll see. I've
cleared the next 18 hours of my schedule just so that we can do this. Goddamn,
if you want to keep it rolling, and I'll just pop back in.
No, but I want to talk about the gratitude cell, and I also want to. I know you're interested in Blue Dax, so what do you want to talk about first? Like shoot, we can talk about these two things. I'm actually not part of the Blue Dax team, but I do know what's happening a little bit behind the scenes. I suck at DeFi. That's mostly what's happening. But yeah.
Have you met our buddy Ross before? He's in the comments. If not, I'd like to connect you guys eventually.
See, he's saying hi, what's up? And I feel like I should say yes, I've met him, but then it's kind of like we don't get to have this conversation where we actually meet eyes for 5 minutes while I figure out who he is, you know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I have. So Ross, nice to meet you. And if I have met you, I'm really sorry. I'm bad with faces and names. So.
He's really cool. I'm gonna connect you guys.
It'd be awesome.
After
what is he part of the space, or is he?
He's working on a project right now. And we'll just I don't want to give away too much of his goods, but he's working on a project right now in the Ethereum space. So all of our wax
awesome.
Don't get. I know. I've seen more and more wax collectors seem to get more open to the ETH space. I'm kind of indifferent. Everyone here, I hope you know, like I love wax. Like this has just been where I've learned everything, and I have no desire to really, as far as my own projects, do anything elsewhere. But at the same time, I think, everything's starting to overlap because we just saw Cryptowriter go bonkers on Terra, which was like I didn't even know what Terra was until less than 2 weeks ago.
It's funny because the project that I started out with in the crypto space used to be called Tribe One, and they were kind of like the social media of EOS, and they didn't get any funding. And I worked there for 2 years. And
what was it called?
Tribe.one.
Okay.
And when I left,
not Block One.
Not Block One. And when I left, they left. They left EOS. They ported over. They went over to Terra. And now they've got this like DeFi engine over there on Terra with incentivized liquidity pools. Like they've got the social thing that they're coming out with. And then like Cryptowriter guys went over to Terra. And I mean, they got a lot of shit. People didn't respect John Trafford in the way that they should have.
Well,
that's all about to change.
Isn't John just the artist?
He is, but like people were just like, but have you seen the swinging Finny, Jimming D?
The swinging, I forgot that is your nickname. So
have you seen it?
No, bring it up.
You haven't seen this. Like, okay, so anyone who's doubting the pixelation abilities, let me just look at you for a minute. Anyone who is doubting, and I just cut this off, by the way.
It was
anyone who is doubting the pixelation abilities of John Trafford, because he is by far, in my opinion, now since yesterday, the best pixel artist in the world.
Wow.
And this is why.
Oh, you get your okay. you have all of our attention. I mean, I've interacted with John before. Okay. Swinging Jimmy.
And this is a brainchild of our good friend Tila Crypto. Sean.
How do we get one?
I think there is only one of one, and I think Sean's refusing to sell it, to be honest, which I'm kind of happy about. But I don't know. So this is like what he came out with, and this is a crunk. So I'm just like blown away by, like you said, the moves that the Cryptowriter team has made in the space. And it's funny because I remember Kenny back in the day when I was working in Tribe, and he used to come into our Telegram channel and drop articles for Cryptowriter, or for EOS Writer at the time, right? And like we interacted a little bit, and like I remember like I got hooked up with Blue, who, if you don't know, if you're in the audience and you don't know,
he's like the source of creation for the Uplift, right?
Yeah. And so we how this all started was I was writing articles and following news for Tribe.one, and I was trying to onboard people to come and like post on our social platform and like get like good news out there, because we wanted to be the premier kind of blogging site for projects. Like everyone was using Medium, and I thought this is kind of crazy. So I started a bunch of different stuff, and I started watching a bunch of different videos, and there was this like kind of weird dude who would just like sit in his car at the side of a park, and like he would talk into his phone about like weird crypto shit, like he was just going to the moon.
This is Blue.
And this was M Blue. And then he started talking about this project and bringing like charity to blockchain. And I joined his Telegram, and I just became intrigued with what he was trying to do. And I just started interacting with him and like, you know, trying to help him out because it was really cool. And then we started this DAC, and the DAC was called Uplift Nation. And what we were trying to do is we were trying to put charity on the blockchain, and it fucking didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is because the regulations weren't there. They weren't possible at the time. They weren't there. And, you know, we didn't want to be shut down. Like this was a couple years ago. We tried to get funding from Block One. We got funding from Block One actually, but it was the fake Landammer. Sorry, Landammer. It was the fake Dan Larimer. And we got funding, but like he wanted us to pay $5,000 to finish the review. And luckily, like Blue and the rest of the people on the team, there were so many people like that were working hard. Like the Sov guys were in there, the Chintai guys were in there, like so many amazing people that were working with this DAC. And over time, it just kind of faded out. And we realized that there's actually not really a way to do, you know, blockchain charity because the regulations and rules don't exist. And so we kind of like were doing it, but we weren't. And then Blue kind of faded out for a while, like not very long, like, you know, a while in crypto time. You know, a month or so.
Right.
And then he came back and he's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to start this new company called Uplift Art, and we're going to like release this release. And this is the first music video ever on the blockchain. And he released My Bitcoin Bull.
What was it?
And around the same time, Corey was doing some shit. And Corey reached out to Blue and he said, I love your thing. You know, I want to do a remix of it. And, Blue said, yeah, send me your shit. And Blue's a producer. So they did that. And that was kind of around the first time that I was ever on camera with Blue. And then Corey was like, hey, do you want to come on and talk about Uplift Nation and Uplift Art? And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then I met Corey, and then I started streaming, you know, once a week with him.
And then, you know, when you started streaming was when you met Corey?
Yeah. Like, because we did it once, and then he's like, that was fun. Do you want to like do a show once a week? And so we were on a different channel, and then we were just like, fuck, this is awesome. Let's start our own channel. We did that for a while, and then we started doing every day, like shift style every day.
Honestly, I got to get, well, I don't know if I have to get back to that, but I know what you're talking about. those long ones.
Yeah. And so we were doing that. And then Corey pitched Blue the whole idea of the uplift, and shit really started to hit the fan. Because like then you had, I said this on our show tonight on the Uplifters channel. You know, one of our team members, Jen, she's awesome. She has Jen's awesome show. And she said, it's called? Yeah, it's called Jen's Awesome Show. And the cover image for her show is like basically a unicorn that her daughter drew that like is now a monument in the Uplift that got built out, right? And one of the interesting, you know, things that Jen always says, which I think is really fascinating, is she's like, I love working for this company because nobody ever tells me no, right? Like nobody ever says no. Like nobody ever says your idea is insane. It's crazy. Nobody ever tells me no. And think about how many times in the real world you get told no, right? For me, it's a little bit different because when people tell me no, it just, you know, drives me hard. It just drives me harder to like prove them wrong in a way. For me, it's like every idea that I have or every idea that somebody else has just gets fucking 10x by brilliant people, right? Like it might not come to fruition. Like I'm not saying that every idea I have is great, but every idea that I have that other people see merit in, they 10x it. And this is why we have the uplift, is because Corey had this idea and the team behind them, you know, 10x'd it. And this is why Blue DAC is a thing. Because like you were asking about Blue DAC earlier, like what is Blue DAC, right? I mean,
are you the mind behind Blue DAC?
I am totally not the mind behind Blue DAC. Like I have nothing to do with Blue DAC, zero to do with Blue DAC. I'm just kind of privileged to sit on the shoulders of giants on this one. But like Corey and Blue started Blue DAC and a few other people as well. Like it's a DAC, obviously. But they just noticed that like liquidity in Wax was a bit of a problem. And so what they did was they created this incentivized liquidity system. And I'm like, honestly, like you should talk to Corey on Blue because I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it's something that Wax is like never actually had. So yeah, that's like a whole other thing. But the cool thing about what's happening in the uplift in terms of, you know, progression of sales and how we divvy out land plots is it's always being kind of 10x. So yeah, Martin, you got a good point. That's what we're here to talk about. We're starting to roll this information out. So I want to give you guys, the lowdown. But before we do that, do you have any more questions? I mean, did you notice which side the bulge was on the swinging Jimmy Finney? Do you know what that means from a cultural perspective? Do you have any more questions about, like, you know, Blue Deck? Do you have?
Is swinging Jimmy going to start playing in the Japanese like baseball league?
I don't play baseball. I rarely wear socks. Everything about that photo is wrong, and that's why it's perfect.
I have no. I don't think I have any follow-up comments or questions other than I didn't realize that Blue Deck is that the same. Is it called Blue Deck because of M Blue? Like with the names combining it? Is it named after
I don't know. Like, I mean. Okay. I wasn't on the inside of that conversation, but yeah, definitely those two people, those two geniuses got together one afternoon. They decided to sit in a fucking rubber dinghy, probably, and have a beer. And Blue Deck was the brainchild of that. I'm totally making that up, but like there might be a hint of truth in that.
All right, I just want to say as we continue throughout the remainder of today's stream. There's a link in the description to join us on the stream on Twitch. And if you are new to this game, it's very simple. You log into Twitch, you join the stream, and you type race with that exclamation mark right in front of it to join in. And yeah, I'm going to take a look. Actually, let's do a quick peek at the giveaway wallet, see what we got in here. And then let's break into that estate sale goodness.
I'd like to. I think it's okay. I think it's all right. So I'd like to donate to one of these giveaways as well on the stream, if that's
okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, feel free to shoot it over to ZYSEO as in search engine.
Well, no, what I want you to do is I want you to do the draw and then I'll send it out.
Oh, okay, cool.
But what we're going to do is we're going to give away 500 blue. 500
what?
Blue.
Is that the Blue Deck thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So what you can do with that blue is you can go to Alcor. You can stake it as liquidity to another pair that is on Blue Deck, bluedeck.io, and then you'll get an LP token. And with that LP token, it will allow you to stake that LP token on Blue Deck and get some rewards back. In blue.
In blue. All right. Sorry, I did a bad job of multitasking and hearing everything you said, but I think I caught the meat of it, which is that's what is going to come with your giveaway.
Yeah. So you send me the address. I'll send them 500 blue, and then just go to Blue Deck and click the what the fuck button, and it'll tell you how to play the game.
Okay. All right, so give me the rundown here.
Morton, sorry, Morton, you are 100% right. I'm sorry, I did miss that key factor. You do need to go to the Blue Deck Nifty Drops page, and you do need to buy one membership to be able to use Blue Deck. I'm sorry. Thank you for clarifying that, Morton. So yeah, Morton's got a question. Well, I mean, it's your show, so you run it. But yeah.
Oh, I mean. We'll break the ice right there. And by the way, if anyone else tuned in right now, if you do have questions about the estate sale, please, by all means, shoot them into the comments. We'll do our best to address them one at a time. And yeah, I mean, this is brand new news and information to me here too as well, Jimmy. So
we've only really talked about it I've only really talked about it very briefly on one stream, and that was with Miss Team Crypto. So over the course of the coming week, we're going to give you guys more and more information. We're going to level up. This is how good it is. So I don't know, like for some of the people in the comments, if you remember, but like the first sale that we ever did was these probes. And from a community perspective, it seemed like it was a lot of fun. And what we did was we gave out probes, and people who had these probes for being an active part of our ecosystem, they could launch these probes at a map, at a target, and if their probe was the first to hit that target on the map, if they probed first, they got to keep that land. Or they didn't get to keep the land, but like they got to be the first person to like be able to pay for that land. And it was kind of cool from a community perspective, but from the team perspective, it was a flipping disaster, right? And if you know anything about the Uplift, is we've got a bunch of different servers. So a couple of the servers actually, there's never been land sales, and we've just given away land, to valuable people. Genesis server, that was the first one. It's Creative World, and we had all of the communities in there. It was originally just one map. And yeah, I agree. It was a freaking nightmare, Morton. It wasn't our most executed plan. However, we're learning, right? And we're leveling up the ante. There were other sales that we did in the future that were just kind of these sales that like you could get random plots of land and things like that. But what we're doing with this sale is something a little bit different. So the background is that there is actually Genesis, which is a pretty full world right now, but there's this whole other server of people, mostly spawned by Anders, if you know any observation, who built everything in creative and took the piss out of even Corey for like flying around. And so this world is kind of fresh. The only people who are in this world are a few communities that came in early and started to build. Now, why did we give those communities preference? Well, it's very simple. The reason we gave those communities preference was because it's a survival world, and they needed time to kind of build up the communities. Now, we're kind of breaking boundaries here with this test case of an estate sale. We're at the point now where some projects are looking at us and some people are looking at us, and they might want to buy land in the Uplift. They might not know how to Minecraft. They might not know how to do any of this stuff. So what our team, this is not me, by the way, I have nothing to do with this, although I would love to take credit. But what our team came up with was this kind of like gratitude land sale idea, where we would take a small parcel of land. I think it works out to 7 phases. Sorry, it works out to 7 phases, and this is phase 1. And I'm not even going to talk about the 7 phases, because unless phase 1 sells out, we're not going to do it, right? Like, we reserve the right, as always, to be able to change our minds and make the system better. So this is kind of our test case, phase 1. Phase 1 is a small section of the gratitude map. It works out to about 1/5 of the map, I'm told. And what happens is it's a 72-hour sale, all right? Broken up into kind of, 24-hour bits in a sense. So phase 1 works out to almost 1,000 plots, not quite. 900 and something. What we have is an estate sale that lasts for 24 hours. And the estate sale consists of 8 pieces of land and 2 pieces of rail.
2 pieces of what?
Rail.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you get 8 pieces of land and you get 2 pieces of rail.
I'm sorry. Looking at this race is like everyone just goes into the stands at this part. That's kind of funny.
No, okay. And whatever doesn't sell in the first 24 hours gets divided into single random plots for the next 24 hours. So in that second part of phase 1.
So clearly phase 1 is where you want to position yourself.
Well, I mean, if you're a big if you're a big spender, if you want 10 plots, right? Like not everyone.
Are you buying 10 plots?
I'm I probably won't, but it's not because I don't believe in the value of it. It's more because I have way too many, things to manage. But I might actually partake in the second sale. The second part.
Tell us about the second sale.
Yeah. So, the second 24 hours is just you can buy, these plots that weren't sold in the States. So you can pick your lot for 24 hours, and if you want to pick 2 or 3 lots, and they happen to be neighboring lots, then you can do that, right? I kind of want you to ask me the question about, the estate sale, because I'm under direct orders to not reveal certain things unless asked.
Can you share your screen at all? We're about to finish this first race.
No, I can't share my screen.
Oh, no sneak peeks?
No, well, we're going to do a one-pager coming out next week. But you can ask questions, and if you ask questions, I can give you detailed answers. Hit
us with the questions in the comments, guys. Let's see. I'm gonna cook one up for you here, Jimmy.
So 10 plots. You get 10 plots, eight plots of land and 2 plots of rail. And I forgot to mention this. What you also get in that is you get 2 hours of demo build time.
Explain that. What does that mean?
So our team will come in and they'll show you like how to build stuff, how to operate stuff, how to organize stuff. And I've also heard that our team is actually going to buy up some upliftium off the open market. And we're going to donate that to some of these projects that actually also, provide you with income. I think I got this right. I'm not 100% sure about this, so don't quote me on this. But we'll provide the builders.
You are being recorded.
We'll provide the builders with the ability to go in and use the storefronts to buy resources to build up your plot. Okay. So that 2 hours of build time also comes from with some resource allocation to be able to build up what you need. So just to kind of give you a demo. Martin, come on, I'm counting on you. Ask me the question that I need to be asked to give you. Is there
one specific question that you're looking for?
I mean, I would kind of like to know how much these plots. I'm just saying.
How much they cost?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so for the estate sale, so that's a great question. Thank you for asking.
I'm guessing. Are we transacting in upliftium or wax?
No, we're not transacting in upliftium. We are transacting in wax. But so for 8 pieces of land and 2 rail and 2 hours of demo build time, this is going to be a $2,000 price tag. So yeah, and if you look at what the base rail prices were for Chicken Caw when we did the sale, I think this is a really good deal. And all of these, estates will be, it's an estate. I didn't ask this question. I probably should have, but I'm assuming that they're next to each other. They might not be though. I should probably clarify that. So after that's done, whatever plots haven't been sold or whatever land hasn't been sold, then you can pick your lot. So if you just want to go in there and you want to pick 2 or 3 neighboring lots or do whatever, then you'll be able to buy those. Now I don't have a price point on those, so don't bother asking. I wasn't even going to tell you the first price point, but you guys would really push me to the max. So I had to do it. I had no choice there. My hands were tied. And then finally, the final the next 24 hours is randomized packs of land and rail. So basically that's the layout. You can go in, you can buy an estate, whatever's left, you can go in, you can choose your plot, and whatever's left, you can go in and you can buy something for randomized land or rail. And so yeah.
There we go. I got a question. I actually did have a good question for you before we got to the money question. How much does it cost? I'm actually just curious to know what has the growth for the uplift been like? Because the last time I have uplift, I have miners, I have land that I haven't done anything with yet, and would love to. I don't know. It's really hard to find the time right now, but I think the project is one of my favorites and probably my number 1 or number 2 metaverse project that's out there. I just want to know what does it look like from a growth perspective? New users, are we getting more people into the uplift? Because I know the world of Minecraft is like endless, right? Like if we can get some of those guys over into the uplift, I feel like it's only going to continue to snowball.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I'm not the stats guy. I don't know, but like I can tell you, like it really depends on the world. And Morton, like he's actually the expert over in London. Like he kind of knows what's going on over there. But what we've seen in terms of Genesis is like massive. This is a creative world. This is the first one. Massive uptick of people coming in, people building, like people using uplifting to put up picture installs. Like the art community, especially, is kind of like revolved around this, like putting in loops and portals and things like that. There's definitely some whales in there. And Chicken Caw as well. I think they sold 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 9 of those like major squares. They've been doing pretty good, and now Shipletopia is coming out, so that's really busy.
What is that?
The Chicken Caw area. So that land sale was really good. Uplift, we sold land, but we matched the land. I'll show you the maps in a minute.
Yeah.
But like we matched the land that we sold. Almost on a tiering system with like giveaways. So actually there was like, I think I get confused because there's so much going on, but I think it was a 3-for-1 in the end, because we sold enough that we gave away 3. And it's probably like the busiest server, to be honest, because there's so many people in there with these randomized land plots that they're running around. It's survival. They're working. They're like London. London is really fun. Like honestly, like I like the London community. The London community, like they have swag. Martin will tell you, like they're like the real survivalists in a way, right? Like they built everything up from the ground up. They built everything up from scratch. I think it really depends on the world, right? Like Thune got launched. There's not that much traction there. Gratitude, which we're having the first estate sale, right? There's no rewards in the world yet. So I'm kind of excited to see how Genesis changes after the public actually gets in there, and it's not just people who are affiliated with projects or builds. Does that kind of answer your question, like without just saying I don't know? I mean,
it does, and I'm actually confused on how I entered into this race, other than maybe through the StreamYard comments when I said race. It added me in here. But I want to see, to go back to what you were saying, I want to see a, how to explain it? Just like a live look in what's going on within the uplift, because I just haven't seen a live stream of what it looks like in a while. And I know I always get more intrigued once I can actually get into the metaverse or see someone else going through it. So are you able to pull something up here after we do this race?
Yeah, so I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling up the
You got time.
I'm pulling up the 3D map view right now. So we just recently moved over from our old servers to AWS. Things are a lot smoother. My computer only crashes half of the time now. It's a lot actually to stream and to
this one's tough to keep up with.
To stream and to put these things on air. Okay, I think I got the 3D maps. I can maybe pull out the game later, but I prefer to do this first. And I'm not really sure how much time you have, so let's do that. But why don't you give us the play-by? Why don't you give us the play-by-play and
of the race?
Yeah, like zoom in on that, and I'm just gonna like I don't know, announce your announcements, because like.
Oh, I actually do have some shout outs and stuff.
Okay, good, because there's a water fountain calling my name.
Okay. Go get it. I think, guys, that you have to help me out. I think Jimmy is 4 beers deep. We're going to see if we can get him to like 6 or 7 by the end of the stream. I think it'll be doable. I know I'm going to have to hop off in about a half hour. I am going to give him full full authority if he wants to keep this stream going to stay on here. You guys can drill him with some questions. If you have any questions based on what he was talking about just now too, please, by all means, like get them ready, get them in the comments. Morton, I know you got a lot of them. I appreciate that. But yeah, anyone else too, questions tied to the uplift and the estate sale. On my end, I do want to do, before I hop off, a giveaway today for a free piece of merchandise from my online store. That's you can check it out right now if you want to. It's ix9.shop. I want to do a giveaway for that. As you guys know, I've been working very closely recently with mindfulmeds.io. Those guys are just absolutely awesome, doing everything I can to help them get going with NFTs. We're not going to do any Mindful Meds giveaways today, but next Monday we will definitely be doing another giveaway for them. And then you'll see also another link in the description. Thanks to our boy Shanika. He's gotten me into the world of influencers in Binamon. I'm still similar to listening to Jimmy talk about the uplift, a little bit like uneducated on what's going on, but enough to be a little dangerous. And so I'm really liking what I'm seeing for the future of Binamon, and happy to kind of be qualified as an influencer for them, mainly looking into scholarshiping athletes right now. And I think that's all I had. I might have one more. I won the race. I don't know how that happened. So whoever comes in second, congratulations. Looks like it's going to be Funko Coffee. That was
fucking rigged. It's rigged. You're collecting NFTs from other projects, and then you're rigging the race so that you get to keep them. God damn it! This is everything that's wrong with crypto, General Moses.
I didn't even know how I entered my name in there. I think it's because I accidentally typed race in the comments.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I do apologize for that. I'm not trying to be rude. I have a medical condition, and it's called "we don't know what the fuck is wrong with you." That's like, and they're like, "There's nothing wrong with you. Come back in 3 months." And I'm like, "There's definitely something wrong with me." Like
you know what
today,
it is? Your lack of access to weed in Tokyo. That's what's wrong. I'm sorry, not Tokyo, Osaka.
It could be that, to be honest, but like, yeah, I had an ultrasound today, and my missus, who is actually expecting, she said, ultrasound, like, are you like, you know, we converse in English mostly, and she's like, ultrasound, and I'm like, yes, they told me I was having a baby, and they refused to believe that I'm a man. It was really kind of funny, a lot more funny than that story. Anyway, Roger. I have a couple things to say to you. You want lessons. We had a cast last week, well, this week actually, a couple of days ago, that it's kind of like a guild. There are some projects in there that are like accepting users to kind of teach them how to do lessons. I tried to do a show on our channel where I teach people how to do like Minecraft. I'm not really good at it, but like we got through one episode with a guest who's really good at it. But like, it kind of seems like the community is doing a much better job than we are on this, because it's just really hard to book guests to come in for tutorials. Funko, nice.
But I'm guessing Roger is Funko on YouTube. He's Roger. On Twitch, he's Funko.
Okay, I didn't realize that was. Okay, nice.
Funko Coffee just won a prize, so that's where we're going.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that. Yeah. Okay. So, but that's actually who I was talking to. Yeah. So Morton's in there. He as well. He's asking. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's 100% true. That it was helpful, but it was like kind of a one of a time thing. I would like to do more, but like, it doesn't seem like people are really into it. So like, if you want a lesson, I don't know. I guess if you get the estate sale, like if you participate in the estate sale, then you get a lesson on that. But yeah, like I would say just like interact, especially if you're in a survival world. Like if you're in a creative world, you can kind of figure it out on your own. It's not that hard. I mean, I'm a crap builder, but I just kind of started, you know, with Corey when this thing started. Like we were just doing a podcast, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm in the metaverse, like building. But yeah, like I'm excited because I think that if you want to learn how to build and you want to play around by yourself, Morton's 100% right. Go in there and do it in creative. Find a place in creative. And honestly, like, if you don't have any land in a creative server, like, you're almost at the level where I would throw you onto one of my plots to like play around. I mean, I don't do that lightly. I don't give it away to people I don't know, but you're always here. You're always asking questions. You're always interacting. I think that you're
Wait, what can we? What are you potentially offering here? Sounds interesting.
Well, I mean, like, if you don't have a space in a creative server, like, just talk to me. Figure out how to DM me, and maybe I can whitelist you a plot so you can play around. And like, like, maybe you can, learn how to play. Like, lesson wise, like, I'm pretty stretched, but like, I think if you just play around in a creative server, like, that's a really good way to get it. Survival's a little bit more difficult. Maybe we're going to have to think about this. We don't generally do tutorials, but like, I think that maybe if you watch our stream back from earlier tonight, one of our new team members, Javier, like, he's thinking about like giving some tips and stuff in the world and things like that. So maybe I'll try to bring that back. Like, if you're out there in the audience and you have questions about like how to do certain things,
need to uplift university, or you're a teacher, you're a professor.
Fuck, that's a good idea. Uplift university is a fucking great idea.
Well, we've discussed on the stream here before Shift University, and I think it's brilliant. And Futures Relic, I don't know if you're still here. He's been the one person to follow up with me the most on it. It's just another one of those things where it's like, great idea, huge demand for it. Same like Uplift University. It's just like, who's going to take the keys and run it? Because as much as I would love to, I can't right now. So, but you are the professor, Jimmy. So if you have any idea.
Now you got me thinking, because I'm reading the comments of Morton and Roger. Like, I would love to see this as a community incentive. I would love to have like, so, okay, like, here's a little bit of a segue. By the
way, I'm gonna go back in the stream and watch the part where you go, oh, fuck, that's a good idea.
So here's a little bit of a segue. I told you that I have a degree, and I'm actually a qualified teacher in the U.S. I lived in Hawaii, actually. For 2 years, I did my postgraduate in Hawaii, and right, that's the point.
Actually,
that's kind of the point. That's a good idea. But go ahead, even better. I have an even better idea.
Even better. I got this from Shanika. Are you familiar with him? NFT Gamer TV, Shanika. He goes. Also, his name is Sam. Okay. They're working on stuff at NFT Gamer TV, as far as I know, that's built around the play to earn concept. I know the guys over at Immersis are doing that too. I believe Dan, where. I mean, well, you got Uplift as well, but learn to earn. That's the other idea I want to plant, and hopefully it gives you some ideas or energy, because that's how the school should be. The students, if anything, should be getting compensated for going to school instead of like paying money. It's like a backwards concept in my opinion. So
yeah, so we had like we had an NFG on our show the other day, and NFG, like, they started hanging out in the Uplift world and doing stuff, and
NFT
they originally. Non-fungible gang, and they started in Axie Infinity, and they started like doing these like scholarship programs where they would get people in a game, and now they've moved to Uplift and a bunch of other games, right? And so they're giving this kind of stuff away. Back to Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii. I was doing my degree, and I went to this conference, and then I canceled all the rest of my conferences to basically become a volunteer in what was called this like kind of permaculture kind of community. And what we would do is we would go and we would volunteer at people's places to basically turn their gardens or their yards into food forests. Because actually Hawaii is one of the most expensive places in the world to live. And there's a lot of like native Hawaiians who have actually left. They've had like been forced to move like to the mainland, to like Portland and stuff, because they can't afford to live there. I had one student who used to come to school with no shoes and no breakfast because he was homeless. His parents him and his two siblings lived with both parents in a flippin' tent on the beach, not because his parents were alcoholics. They just weren't educated enough to be able to get good jobs. And good jobs are like not very common in Hawaii because everyone wants to live in paradise. And his father had 3 jobs and his mother had 2, and they still couldn't afford a place to live, right? And this is kind of like their homeland. And he was a really shitty student, to be honest. Like, he was always pissed off. But what we did was we implemented this permaculture idea where, we were teaching kids, like you said, valuable life skills in the garden or in the ecosystem. Right? Like, they were doing math by like plotting garden plots. They were doing biology by catching fish in the river and fucking dissecting them and then eating them. Right. And it's if you watch the show that I did a while ago with Bang Out, he lived in Hawaii with his kids, and he said that this is one of the most valuable experiences his kids have ever had. Not the same school, but a school in Hawaii called Punahou, who is sanctioned by the government to be able to do things in a native Hawaiian way. And they do this kind of like Hawaiian cultural practice, right? And what's interesting about this whole concept is that gave me the idea for my 200-page book that I wrote that basically tore the ideas of education down by its foundation. And I said, this doesn't make any sense. People are in here and they're learning things from books that don't make sense, right? And so fast forward from there through everything that's happened in my life since then to this point, and that's my holy shit, this is brilliant moment, right? Like a community incentive that was along the same lines whereby you have a group of people who would, all own land. This is freaking brilliant. Nothing against the scholarship programs, because I think that's great. But like Roger Morton, there's tons of people in the Uplift, General Moses as well. It's the first time I've actually said your name and meant it with authenticity. General Moses as well. You guys all have land, but like you're so busy doing your own thing that you're not able to develop it. So what if you called like this, like the permablitz of the Uplift? What if you got a group of people together, because you can whitelist up to 7 people, and you say, look, you volunteer to come and help somebody else build out your land 2 times, and then you can put your name on the list. And you have this group of 7 builders, and you can always have interaction with new builders. They can come in, they can mine the resources, they can help you, you can teach each other like how to do things. Like everything that I did in the Uplift in gratitude for the Yoshi Drops plot that I'm running, I had to do myself, and it kind of sucked, to be honest. Like underground building, like getting killed by spiders, like it was kind of insane. But like if I could just go in there and hang out with people like Morton or people like Roger, whitelist you guys to the plot, get a little bit of free work under my belt, right? And then you work for 2 of the community plots, and you get to put your name on the list. You get to say, look, I want to do this build on my plot on this day at this time. I will whitelist these people. You can come in together. You can play with us. You can whitelist us. I mean, if you don't know what a permablitz is, research it, but this is actually brilliant. This is actually brilliant. Like, if you can figure out a way to do that as a community incentive, you can do it. I can show you that, but honestly, it's kind of annoying.
It's all good. So I do want to get some type of screen share of the Uplift. If you want to show me what Morton's talking about with the StreamYard giveaways, that is worth checking out too. And then whoever you can talk to at the Uplift team, what attracted me honestly to bind them on, which again, link in the description, check them out. Really cool project. What attracted me to bind them on is, look, as much as I would love to spend my whole day gaming, it's not realistic at this point. So I can at least live that out through someone else if I can donate or scholarship them. And that's what Bindamon has, a scholarship program. So if the Uplift is going to look into something scholarship related for streamers and like whatever it may be, putting that, that request, that prayer out there, if you can.
Well, we're not doing it because there's a bunch of other communities that are doing it. Like Sammy Snake's doing it. He's doing a great job with it, actually.
What's he doing?
And, like, they have these scholarship programs where they're bringing in users to build stuff in the Uplift. So this is something that's on our marker. However, beyond the scope of the uplift, I will do this. If there is enough people that reach out to me, I am more than happy to, and I suck as a builder, I just want to say that, but I'm more than happy to whitelist 7 people in my plot for a day. We come in, we just hang out, and we see what happens. And maybe we can start this like permaculture kind of like.
Would it be possible to stream while you do that? While you do
that? Yeah, of course, I'm going to stream it. Yeah. And like we would do that, and then we would have builders come in, and we would
that's a really good idea.
Build something, mine something. And if you participate in, let's say, 3 of these builds on my plot, then you can put your name on the list. And once your name goes on,
I want to join that.
Once your name goes on the list, so Morton's name's on the list, right? Now he can say, okay, you guys can come to my plot and you can build it. And we do this tally. I think it would be really fun to do that. And like, so you participate on three other people's plots. You get to put your name on the list, and then you can whitelist other people. And my recommendation is to whitelist them and then take them off after, because if they fuck shit up, then you're responsible for it. But like, I'd like to do this. So if you're out there in the comments and you think this is a good idea, hit me up in a DM. Find me. Like, let's do this. Not next week, but like maybe the week after.
I would love to join. Like, I would want to sit in on that stream at least and just check it out and just watch people build and get a feel for it and talk. Get some, get some good streaming hours in there. So let me know what you come up with. Try to make, we get the timing is always funny between us, but just let me know in advance. And
it would be, I think it would be super fun. So this is Uplifter's Tower. This isn't the actual game. This is the 3D map version of the game, but this is, where we live.
What's that stadium there?
This is something that
it looks like a stadium.
Yeah, it might be one of the Neon Space builds, actually. I'm not really sure. Because this map, you can't scroll around, so this isn't the actual game. It's just a 3D map. But I can show you some of my builds, actually. So
let's check out some of your builds. I'm going to get another giveaway ready here.
Yeah, and then I'll show you. We can do the StreamYard thing for the 500 Blue Deck. That's all right.
With the StreamYard one, do people can just enter it like through YouTube and through Twitch?
Yeah, so what it is I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. And so this is another project that I work for. You may or may not know them. This is Gener EOS. And Gener EOS is a block producer on, EOS and many EOS.io chains.
Are we going to be able to get you to 6 glasses of beer? You closing in on it?
I actually drink beer really slowly for the simple reason that I can't burp. Actually, I have a physical impairment.
Oh, really? Yeah. Maybe that was the thing that they couldn't figure out at the doctor.
Right. Now it got better after I quit smoking. Like tobacco. Anyway. But yeah, like this is Gener EOS Mountain. You can see like this is actually their logo. And I came in here one day and I built this whole thing out on an island. It's creative version. I especially like this. If you're flying in the world, I mean, if you got enough time, I can try to pull the gratitudes up. But it looks like a giant bottle of whiskey or wine, which is pretty fun.
You built it?
Yeah. Well, not the island. The island was there, but I built all the other stuff. You can see all the lights underneath. Like this is kind of my first foray into uplift. Roger, this is what Morton was kind of alluding to and what I kind of seconded. There's like a huge like greenhouse building here. I was trying to like grow trees and shit underground. Like one of the chicken call CK7 members came in and like she built a coral reef over here in the bottom corner, right in the center of the screen there. This is I wanted to see how many blocks from the ground I was, so I built up this kind of tower in the center here, which actually became a gratitude monument in of itself. You can see the little brown things on there. Now this is the 3D map, so you can flip to any server here, and you can see it's a 1-point view. You can see the players that are in it, but if we go to
did you see that we've had a lot of people say that they want to join in on that stream, the building stream, Roger, I think Morton, Folk Killer, Cassandra, but Cassandra wants to drink beer now because of you.
Right. I mean, if you do that, I'm totally game. It'll be fun. just beware that you might be labeled with a condition called "we don't know what the fuck is wrong with you." But yeah, let's do it. Morton, I'm going to enlist you to remind me that I promised to do this, because I think it actually is a really good idea. This is a little bit of a test case that I did over in Chicken Caw, and I figured out that the cool thing about the uplift is it defies the laws of of logic. If you have dirt in your cache and you have bone meal in your cache, or even if you don't, you just have to wait longer, you can put a block of dirt on top of a tree, and then you can plant another tree. So you can just build like tree after tree after tree, and you can see that this is, you know, the effect. And I built these like giant kind of like trees into the earth. And I feel bad that one evil thing that I ever did in the uplift was I came in here and I outbid someone at the very last minute for this land sale, because I just wanted this waterfall. And like if you come into the world in here, like I have a little like bed in here, and it's pretty cool. And so like that's where I spawn into the world. It's actually right next to Uplift Greg. Now where we are in Gratitude. Now Gratitude is a survival world, just like Chicken Caw. This is NEO's pyramid. And he was kind of impetus in a way for having this Gratitude world, because he built this all in survival in a creative world, and he built this giant water pyramid, and there's like kind of crazy stuff. He's given a lot of these plots out. I'm in here as well. My build is not near as fancy. What I can tell you guys is this. I can't show you the image on the screen, but if we look at these plot markers here, you can see these big community plots, and anything with a red is already kind of given to the community. Now, this plot here is kind of interesting. If we zoom in on this on the 3D map, you will actually be able to see there's kind of this line that goes down the center. And on this line that goes down the center, the left half of this plot is actually dedicated to Scarce, which is a project that is operating on EOS by the founders of Jenner EOS, which I showed you the plot before. And they're doing some really interesting things with NFTs. I can't out them, but they've got some really good IP rights to their name that they're going to be bringing out in the next couple of months, I would imagine, and it's pretty exciting. All of these other red plots that you see here are community plots. And so one of the bigger community plots actually is this one here. Yeah, there's too much going on. So this one here is the art vending machine right in the center of the screen. And this is done by, Joey Chips, and they've done like this kind of like art vending amusement park here, which is really cool. They're doing some really cool stuff. But in this general vicinity, pretty much the whole of this white island is going to be phase 1. With the exception of the ones that are already redded out. It's going to be the whole of phase 1 of this 7-phase land sale. So we're going to see how that goes. And then we're going to decide what to do from there. Because, I mean, if it's a giant failure, I mean, we're not block 1. I'm just going to fucking say it. If it's a giant failure, we're not going to keep going with it. This down here, Morton knows very well, is a lava wall.
It looks like Osaka.
Yeah, right. This is a lava wall, which actually half of this plot used to be the Nasty Hooks plot. And you can see these very reminiscent trees that go all the way up into the sky. And this is kind of where we figured this out. I do a show with the Nasty Hooks, who I think you might know.
You do a show with them?
Yeah, we do it once a week on a Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Well, Tuesday for me, Monday night for them. And we come in and we build and we hang out on this plot. So this is their plot. And we've got a cool Morton, shout out to Morton, because I guarantee you that if you go in here, half of the time you will find Morton. He is like the chicken whisperer. He does weird shit with chickens up here in the trees. You can't see it here in the 3D map view, but yeah. It's definitely
Morton never makes a different, if he starts making streaming appearances, that could be his handle.
Right? No, it's good. He's an avid viewer, and he comes and hangs out. He's whitelisted on the plot, I believe. He's able to build stuff, so it's kind of cool. This has become the Maple Glazed Jerky Chronicles plot, which is what we call our show in true Canadian fashion. It is the Maple Glazed Jerky Chronicles. Up here, however, is you'll appreciate this, Adam. This is Bird Bones's mushroom house. So when he dies, he wakes up in a giant red mushroom, and that's where he respawns his life. That's kind of fun.
That is cool.
Read between the lines. Across here, this is the Yoshi Drops plot, which I'm kind of in charge of as well. And this is kind of the first survival build I ever did. It's this massive, giant kind of pagoda, I guess, in a sense. So yeah. I've been playing around over here. So these plots aren't for sale yet. They're still community plots, but yeah.
So they
more like,
when will they be for sale?
Well, I mean, depending upon what goes on with phase 1, then we'll move on to another phase. I think maybe down here where the Yoshi Drops is, I think if I recall correctly, it's like phase 4 or phase 5. We're going to roll them out in certain sections. It's a survival world, so it takes a little bit longer to build these things up. And we've always said we don't want to oversaturate the market. I mean, you know, we could spin up server after server after server, but like that's not good for the community. That's not good for the people who are in the game. Like, I mean, you know, we're not about controlling prices, but we're also not about just like taking a bunch of money and like running away with it and just, you know, overproducing shit. Like that's not what we're here for, right? Like we want to give value to the community. We want to give value to our community members. And yeah, you can shit on that if you want in the comments, but I'm 100% serious. Like we do make mistakes. We are human in that sense, but like we most of us do this because we want to, you know, a better world. Really, like I do. So yeah, get in touch with me. Let's spin up a new show because I think this would be super fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, Martin.
I want to see the building show. I want to at least be on one of them and just check it out. I don't know if it's going to be a recurring thing or you just do it one time. That looked like a nice little gulp right there too. I wish I was at a stage in the day where I could be sipping back like you.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good. This is the Tokyo Craft.
Oh, nice. There you go.
I had a Brooklyn Lager earlier.
There you go.
And this is, you know.
Wow, you're switching it up. That's
a premium.
Very interesting. You know, I feel like most beer drinkers would be like, "What are you doing?" But I think that's really cool.
Right. Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do then, because I kind of just I'm stuck on this idea of volunteering on 3 different people's plots, because I think that that's an important thing. I think that you should have to volunteer before you can put your plot in the mix. However, as much as I love free labor, I don't want to do this. So what I'm going to do is this is what I'm going to do. General, if you want to put one of your if you want to put one of your plots up, then we'll use one of your plots for it. For this community build. I think we can whitelist up to 7 people if you have the key yourself.
I would be more than happy to. I know I have 2 plots right now.
Right. Morton as well. I'll extend that to you because I know you've got some survival plots in London, so that could be fun. And you're here all the time. So I think like if you want to put one of your plots up, and then I'll put one up as well. And so what we'll do is we'll coordinate this thing where like we'll just go in and we'll just have like a 1 or 2 hour build session. We can whitelist various people. I don't know how we choose those people because it like kind of seems like I'll talk to Morton about this and I'll talk to you about this off camera, but we'll figure out a way to do it. And like once you've volunteered 3 times, then what we'll do is like this is completely uplift management unrelated. I just want to say this. If this bombs, it's because of Jimmy D. It has nothing to do with the uplift, right? Like I just think it's a cool
gotta get the
idea,
disclaimer in there.
right? I just think it's a cool idea, and like I want to volunteer my time to be able to do this. And so, you know, if you come and you volunteer on General, if you come and you volunteer on mine, and you come and you volunteer on Morton's, then we'll figure out a way for you to put one of your plots on the list. And then we'll figure out a way to like have a bunch of people come in, and we'll just do this like kind of communal build. Now, the only rule I think will be that like if we're building on Morton's plot, you know, he's got the final say. Like if he's like, I want to build this and I want to do this, then when you come in, like you
If
follow
you're
those directions.
building on Morton's plot, there's got to be a liquor store there.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Gotta be.
Yeah, and if you're not bringing pickle juice, then you're not invited to the party. Apparently, it cures. It helps with your liver. I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me that, because that might have been one of my problems. But yeah, let's do it.
Oh, pickle juice is good for your liver?
That's what somebody told me on an earlier stream. I mean, I didn't know that.
I can't argue it. I don't know. That's funny though. Learn something new with Jimmy D every day.
Well, no, I learned that from Morton, because he said like 95. Well, actually, from the Nasty Hooks, they said like 95% of the people who drink pickle juice in the U.S. are females, and Morton kind of confirmed it. So you should come hang out with us on the fucking Nasty Hook show. That'll be good. Now, I know you got to go. How much time do you have?
I'm technically a minute over of where I need to be.
Okay, well, let's pick this up. Let's pick this up maybe again, and maybe let's do it. Let's like stream. Let's.
My wife loves pickles too, Ellie. You guys we'll have to do like a pickle juice. Maybe do a pickle juice themed stream at some point. I don't know, just an idea. Like that, like you drink something weird during the stream.
Pickle juice and gratitude.
Pickle juice, gratitude, Uplift University. I'll be in touch with you in regards to the land, because I have one plot of land that I know. I think I uncovered it previously in a stream. Someone helped walk me through it, and I forgot because that was like 3 months ago. So I have another piece of land that I haven't like opened yet, or whatever the process would be of like figuring out where the plot is. So I like it. Jimmy, thank you. Do you want to drop any links for the Gratitude Estate sale or Blue Deck before we hop off?
I can drop a link for Blue Deck. Blue Deck is very simple. It's just bluedeck.io. The Gratitude sale. That's interesting. I'm not General Moses, by the way. I'm Jimmy D. We're gonna probably come out with a one-pager early next week that we're gonna post to all the socials, so everyone has all the information. You're kind of breaking news here, and I do apologize if it's not that clear. But we do.
I didn't realize how much of breaking news it was. Like we're ahead of the links coming out. So
you have more information that was given to you on this show than previously was ever available.
Wow. There you go, guys. If you are into the Uplift, please, when this is done, just go back and read, because Jimmy was spitting bars in there. It was during the time where I was trying to do giveaways. It just wasn't working.
I'm sorry. But I do always appreciate and love you. And I'm super excited to, share the stream with you next Wednesday. Definitely come check us out, because Austin Linney is going to be fun. He's a good friend of Adam's.
I think you're better friends with him than I am now at this point.
Well, I don't know. He's been on our show twice, and it's always fun. He's a little bit soft-spoken, and that's just because he needs to learn to turn his mic up. But other than that, like, we always have a good time. And we thought, well, hell, like an hour is not enough, so let's do 2. So I hope you join us for both streams. I know you're going to be on the first, but I'll send you a link for the second as well.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the comments here. Set a reminder for the Austin Linney show. Maybe that's what he starts calling it too. Just call it the Austin Linney show. I mean, he's got the character for it. There's I think it's only going to be on YouTube. We haven't warmed him up to Twitch yet, but yeah, Austin is the man. And the reason why I connected him, you guys will see this when you check out the stream with him and Jimmy, and I should be able to pop in there too. Him and Jimmy, if you could only hear their voices, they actually sound very similar. And in my opinion, like the way that they articulate is even like similar. So I'm like, they got to meet each other. And I think are you technically a ginger?
I am actually. Yes.
Yeah, and so is he. I actually am a little bit too. Believe it or not, I do have freckles in my hair. Not in the Newfoundland summer, but if it's like somewhere south in the States, my hair will get a little red. So
people don't get this. Like, hair color changes, especially for gingers, like especially in Canada, right? Like it does do that. So cool. I know you got things to do, places to stay, mallards to shoot golf balls at. I mean, I know what it's like out there. Throw
a few more beers down. Interact with the community on Discord and Telegram if you still got some gas left in the tank, or
Oh, I have one more thing to shout out as well, actually, if that's cool before we go.
Okay, yeah.
Crypto Voxels, which is another metaverse. They are CRYPTO, VOXYLS, VOXELS. Sorry, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, they're another metaverse. They're on the Ethereum blockchain, and .gems was gracious enough to basically share their crypto voxels parcel for what is happening the 29th, 30th, and 31st, which is Metaverse Music Festival. And so we've got a bunch of Yoshi Drops artists that are going to be on the 29th over there. There's a bunch of other like USIO people.
29th of November?
29th of October. So
that's today.
That's today, yeah. So starting today, fair enough. I get confused. But yeah, so that's going to be like a 3-day event. So definitely like check that out. Like we've got Love is Nathan and Bang Out, if you know who Bang Out is.
Yeah. Bang Out did they do the Green Vision?
No, that was the Oxymorons. But Bang Out has worked. Bang Out is probably one of the top music producers in the world, like, and definitely in New York. Like, he's worked with like some of the top names. If you just Google it, you can say it, because I don't want to say someone who he hasn't worked with. But we had him on the show a couple times. Him and Nathan, who's a co-host of another show that I do. They're doing one. I am. If you've ever been on any of our streams and you see I am in the comments, like he's a really valuable member of our community. One of his somebody he's associated with is doing it. Taylor Alexander, who had a drop on Yoshi Drops, he's doing a show. And the Nasty Hooks as well, actually. Like, they're going to be on that parcel as well, just because like we love what they do. They're going to do their comedy thing. So definitely go check that out. And if you happen to be in or around New York for NYC NFT, please actually support Yoshi, because he's going to be there doing a presentation, and also Nathan as well. And
whoever can click that link fast enough, it's a Yoshi drop right there. There you go. Yeah, go get a Yoshi membership too. The clear memberships are like super affordable. I don't know. You check them out on Atomic Hub. That's one of the best. I love what Yoshi's doing, because it's one of the best NFTs you can hold in your wallet to teach someone how this stuff works. It's like, if you hold this, oh wow, look, you accumulate over time. So and you can mine Upliftium with his thing too. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, and so we didn't have time to do this because you got to go. But what I'll do is I'll send me your address, and I'll send you 500 blue, and you can give it away in your next stream.
Oh yes, thank you. I will send that to you right away, and then I'm making my next appointment upset. Sweet. But they're going to be all right. Okay, all right. Is that the chop? Okay, guys, drop your wax address in the comments with the hashtag next level. Always like to throw the disclaimer. Might not ever get you anything, but who knows? Maybe one day we'll go back through and do something cool with it. I'm General Moses. That's Jimmy D. We'll be back here sharing the screen eventually sometime. Just follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and join our Discords. All the links are in the description. Thank you for tuning in. Jimmy, you can do a chop while I do the sign off here.
Martin MD, USD.
Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.